your boy Sugar Bear, and since you're here, we're assuming you enjoy this genre of content, and we truly appreciate your time. Let's be direct. YouTube isn't suggesting our videos, and that's a real roadblock to reaching more people. A simple click of the like button from you, whether this particular episode is your favorite or not, is a powerful signal to the algorithm. It's how you tell YouTube to refer our content to others who need it. And now let's start the show. Step right up, folks. Don't be shy. DJ Sugar Bear, reaching for the sky. You're locked into WDRA YouTube Radio, where the drama is bold. Get ready for a story, finely told. Tonight, we kick in an epic tale called Love-Honor-Betrayal. It's a saga of secrets, second chances, and consequences that echo through the years. Buckle up, buttercup, 'cause this ain't your grandma's bedtime story. Here's the lowdown from the last episode. In Love-Honor-Betrayal, Part 7b, A Mother's Confession, we uncover a 27-year-old secret that tore a family apart. Sofia Carter Rivera finally confronts her past, confessing the shocking truth about the betrayal that haunted her for decades. Discover how a mother's attempt to protect her son, Mark, inadvertently led to years of pain and a heartbreaking deception. Mark, now a successful colonel and lawyer, is blindsided by the devastating revelation about his brother, David, and the true extent of Sarah's involvement. Can forgiveness truly heal the wounds of the past, or are some secrets too heavy to bear? Join us as the full story unfolds, revealing the consequences of lies and the long road to truth. Alright, enough talk. Get ready to press play on Destiny. Tonight's episode, Love-Honor-Betrayal, Part 8. The Storm.
The next chapter of our story unfolds on Friday, July 15th, 2016, Mark and Sarah's one-year wedding anniversary. One particularly late evening at the office, U.S. Army Colonel Mark Jones, J.D. LLM, and Emily Carter were entangled in a passionate embrace when Mark excused himself to retrieve something from his briefcase. As he rummaged through his papers, his fingers brushed against a small, slender object. He pulled it out, a pregnancy test wand, displaying a positive result. A positive test. Sarah's been different lately. Could this be why? A baby? Now. A complicated mix of surprise and a sudden weight settled in his chest. The joy of potential fatherhood tangled with the sharp edges of his secret life. She must have slipped this into my briefcase this morning before I left for work. Moments later, Mark's phone buzzed. It was Sarah.
Mark, honey, can you come home as soon as you can? I have some news for you.
Everything all right?
Yes, everything's different. I'll tell you when you get here.
He hung up, a sense of foreboding washing over him.
I have to go. Sarah said she has some news.
Just as Mark gathered his things, Emily's phone buzzed with a text message. She picked it up and read, a soft smile spreading across her face.
Hey, beautiful. It's your grandma. I am so glad that in the past year we have been able to connect even without the help of your mother. I am glad you kids know how to use that Facebook stuff to find older folks. I have good news. Your mom and I have mended our differences, and I want you to meet me at her new house right now if you have time. I will text you her new address.
I would love to. Text me the address, and I will be on my way. I have to go as well.
He walked into the house to find Sarah waiting for him, her eyes shining with a nervous excitement. He managed a weak smile and pulled her into a tight hug, the weight of the other pregnancy test heavy in his pocket.
I have something to show you. We're going to have a baby, Mark.
The room swam before Mark's eyes. The positive test in his pocket, the one in Sarah's hand, realization dawned with chilling clarity. Oh God. The first test. Emily's. They were both pregnant. He was trapped in a nightmare of his own making.
There's something else. Something I should have told you a long time ago. Something I've kept hidden, and it's been eating away at me. I can't bring myself to say it, so I wrote it down. Please sit down and read these. They're my journal, my deepest, darkest secrets. You're my husband, my first true love, and I can't hide this from you any longer. I need you to know everything. I'm going to visit my mother. Read them and we can talk when I get back.
Mark stood frozen, the letters heavy in his hands. His heart pounded in his chest. He walked over to the nearby credenza, his movements feeling strangely detached, and poured himself a glass of red wine, his hand slightly trembling. He took a slow sip, the liquid doing little to calm the storm brewing inside him. He then settled into his armchair, the letters heavy in his lap. He began to read Sarah's familiar handwriting. Emily, when you were 7, in 1997, I started noticing how smart and organized you were. How everything you did was neat, organized, planned. Your room was always neat and orderly. You never got in trouble. You were nothing like David, your father. David was a bad boy, a rebel, always in and out of juvie. I thought football would save him from the streets. You didn't act like David. You acted like my boyfriend at the time, Mark. Mark's breath hitched. He continued reading, his hands trembling. Later that night, while David was asleep, drunk, and snoring with his mouth wide open, I took a saliva sample and had it tested. 7 days later, on April 15, 1997, the results came back, paternity analysis. The genetic markers analyzed show a 0.0000 probability of David Hernandez being the father of Emily Carter. I was in shock. I immediately called David, but Sophia answered. Before I could tell her the paternity news, I asked why she was crying. Sophia said David had gotten into a fight with a gang member and was stabbed with 5 critical wounds. He died at the scene. The shock was so profound that I forgot to share the paternity results with Sophia. David was dead and gone, and Mark hated me and David and wouldn't hear from me. I have carried this burden all this time. David was not your father, Emily. Mark was your dad. I am so sorry. With David gone and Mark refusing my calls, I couldn't bring myself to take away the only father you had known. So, I was wrong, but I kept the secret to preserve your sanity. Tears streamed down Mark's face as he absorbed the devastating truth. It all matched up. His Emily, 25 years old, grew up in North Shore. Carter was David's mother's maiden name, Sophia's maiden name. That's why I felt like I'd met her before, he realized with a sickening lurch. He reached into his wallet, his fingers fumbling for the high school picture of Sarah, his wife. He stared at the image in his trembling hand, and the pieces slammed into place. Emily was a carbon copy of a younger Sarah. His Emily was his daughter. He dropped the wine bottle, the glass shattering on the floor. The buzz of his cell phone jolted him back to the present. As devastating as this was, he couldn't stay on his knees. He had disgraced his oath as a man, a soldier, a leader, a son of God. The colonel stood as a soldier would, his back straight, arms at his sides, a grim resolve hardening his features. Now was the time to live in his purpose. He had forgiven his brother. He had forgiven Sarah. He had forgiven Sophia. Now he had to be completely honest with his wife and daughter, no matter what the cost. The time was now. The mission was clear.
Mark, I am sure that by now you know that the baby I had back in 1990 was your baby, our Emily. I did not make it to my mother's house because when I got outside, we had 2 visitors pull up in the driveway. One of them you know very well. The other one you need to meet come outside so I can introduce you.
Colonel Mark's mind, usually sharp and analytical, was a maelstrom of horror. His affair with Emily Carter, a deep betrayal of the trust placed in him by his wife of a single year, had unearthed a truth of unspeakable magnitude. She was his daughter, and the consequences loomed inescapable. She carried his child, a secret mirroring the life growing within his wife. The oaths I have sworn, both marital and military, lie in shattered ruins. Lord, grant me the fortitude to face the judgment I so richly deserve.